Hey there, welcome back. My name is Luke, this is Lukey Stars, and you may have already noticed something. Where's the gray mat? Unfortunately, the gray mat got infected, and as a result, we had to throw it away. We might get a new one later, but until then, enjoy this hardwood floor. And enjoy this lot of phones that cost $42. Not the cheapest one, but hopefully it will be worth it as I did see some newer phones in there, so this might be interesting. Okay, hopefully I cut this well enough. Okay. Also, you might notice that the camera is lagging. I don't know why it's been doing that lately. This has also made it way more difficult to record. Okay, I put the frame rate to 60 FPS. Hopefully that makes it better for you guys to look at it. And, oh, it's been wrapped up pretty nicely. I'm surprised. Usually when I receive phone lots, they're either clumped up together or they don't have wrapping. This seems to have been, a more careful seller. I appreciate that. Oh, we have the basic phones first. Let's approach them. Okay, this one feels... Oh, this one does not have a battery. This one feels a little too light. This one also feels a little too light, and as a result, I also don't think that this one has a battery. Next. Okay, that's our last basic phone. I'm not trying to power any of them on right now, but just in case. Maybe they'll work. That's not what I'm here for, if I'm perfectly honest, though. Oh, first up, we have a Motorola Nexus 6. I haven't actually had a Nexus phone. Ooh, I already see something. It's not very visible on camera. Now it is. Okay, that's a crack in the LCD that is not going to power on. This one is unbranded. Oh, Doogee. It's a Doogee device. Also looks very dodgy because that vibrated. Why? Let me try again. Okay. We'll come back to this one. That's cursed. That's a Galaxy J7 2016. I can already assume that it's a J7 because of how large it is, and it's also filthy. Okay, it's not that filthy after you take the case off, it's just the case itself is really dirty. Also, obviously it's not powering on. Let me check for any AMOLED cracks, as these did actually have AMOLED displays. I'm pretty sure it is cracked. Okay. Oh, I haven't had one of these. I also don't trust it to work because it's an iPhone. iPhone 5C. I mean, it's a cool color for sure, but... yeah, that screen's a wreck. Okay, so... oh, I forgot about another phone here. I actually already have one of these. So this is a Nokia 114. This should work fine. I don't see any reason why it won't. Okay, then we have an Asus Zenfone. It's an older Zenfone. I don't think it'll power on, but it does look sturdier, at least, than the others. This one is kind of an old tablet. It's a Vonino tablet. Let's see if it powers up. It is cracked, but it shouldn't be that bad. Maybe it's out of battery. Okay, now let's get into the devices that I know for sure work. First up, we have the Enjoy Kali 8. Yep, as I was saying, I know this one works. It was shown in the picture to power up. And same goes for this one, the Wolder tablet. It also has a Ferrero Rocher sticker. That's funny. Where's the power button? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this tablet is on T-Mobile. That's odd. Also, even though this tablet is smaller, it's actually newer than the Wolder tablet. Oh, right, it's KitKat. Also, I'm assuming the battery is just dead. Also, 8 GB of flash storage. That's not great. Oh, 1% battery. Okay, so both of these are like about dying. Let's check the settings though, just to see what Android version it's on, and also hopefully avoid any accidental recording leaks. Okay, so it's the Kali 8 and it's at 5.1. Here's the thing, 5.1 is pretty okay. It's still very much a usable tablet. I'm fine with this. Definitely not worth $42 all by itself, but we've got other things too. Oh, oh, you poor thing. This is a newer Redmi phone. I don't think it will work though. It was shown in the pictures and it did not power on. But it looks pretty nice on the back. So there's that at least. Oh, this is so clean. This is an iHunt device. I've never had one of these. It's a supposedly Romanian brand, but in reality it's probably just drop shipping products from China, which I'm not a big fan of, but I actually did see this one. Oh my god, I hate this label, AI camera. Usually it means that the camera is garbage and they had to kind of overcompensate somehow. Don't trust these labels. So these are the ones wrapped up. I'm assuming these are the ones that are working. And as I was saying, these are newer phones. This is an Oukitel device. Half the cameras are fake, I promise you. But it looks good. That's the thing. Okay, don't mind the cracks, of course, but like it's a genuinely good-looking device. And okay, so here's the thing. The reason why I'm excited about these. Okay, so it does work. Yeah, so you can see it booting up right now. Digi. Okay, that's fun. I don't have a battery that can be used by that. Also, this is the battery for. Okay, so this is the oh, now I see why this battery was shipped separately. Great, that's bloated. But it is the battery for presumably this phone. Oh, I see the touchscreen's a little funky. Wait a minute. No, it isn't. Or maybe it is. It seems fine. Oh god, that's loud. Yeah, this is fine. I don't know. What? Okay, so it's an Oukitel C21. It has a tiny line going across the screen. That's not the best thing ever, but hold on, let me check. Okay, I want to know what Android version this has because okay, so the touchscreen is indeed a little bit funky. But it should be okay, I guess. Okay, hold up. Okay, so it has ghost touches. Okay. So that's the main problem with this. Anyways, this seems like a decent phone. If I can get rid of the ghost touching somehow, I think it should be a pretty decent device. And finally, I've got a Cubot phone. This one I also saw in the listing and it also worked, and here it is. That's more like it. Okay, how do I open this one up? Okay, so you open it from the corner. Okay, no screen funkiness here. This looks like a newer version of Android as well. Also, this looks factory reset. That's pretty neat. Okay. The King Kong 3. That's a funny name. Where is... Okay, so both the Oukitel and the Doogee had a very odd thing where they don't actually tell you what Android version this is on. So I'm going to try and check for myself. Okay, Android version. It's Android 8. Okay, that's not the best, but it's also far from the worst that we've gotten. Yep, it works perfectly fine. This one does seem to have some problems though. I'm assuming this is also why they could not fully reset it. Oh no. So, okay, so the touchscreen seems to be getting increasingly worse the more we use it. Which I don't really understand. Like, it was at first a little bit weird, but for the most part actually okay. And now it's just a huge mess, like a huge one, and for no reason either. Also, this one, for having such a supposedly high battery, it died kind of instantly. But we'll get back to these phones. I'm just gonna wait for this to calm down, hopefully. Okay, it has not indeed calmed down. Let's try it without the case. Sometimes cases do funky things, at least from experience. I've seen some cases cause some really weird problems in phones. So I thought that this might be it. Okay, no, so it's just really... okay, so it's got really bad ghost touching at the top. That's strange. Okay. Yeah, that is indeed a very strange problem. Okay. Works way worse than I expected. Not off to a promising start, I'm not gonna lie. But hopefully the other phones should at least somewhat make up for it. I'll test the tablets too. I know these two work, I don't know much about this one. And I'll see you in a bit. Hey guys. Now is the next day. And I've tested everything. The results are pretty strange though, so let's begin with the basic phones. And I will be thanking my two lovely assistants, the Nokia 114 and the Nokia 2680S, for providing the batteries that we need for this. So first up is another Nokia 114, as I mentioned before. It fully works. Next phone. This is a Maxcom MM428BB, which is a very strange name to plaster on the back, but that's what it's called. Let me try with both hands. Alright, I got the back off, and now slot in the battery. This one works too. It sounds exactly as unpleasant as I would have expected, but on the other hand, it is also kind of a good phone to have because it is it has much larger buttons and large text, so it's very clearly made for. It was very clearly made for older people, and as a result, I'm just glad that they have something to use in case they do not want to give up on their old bar style phones. Next is this Oukitel. Which has a honestly kind of a neat backplate. So made of this textured plastic. Okay. This one works too. So this is an Oukitel 2019G. And finally, with this battery, we'll test out the Miria Sun. Look at these beautiful fake dual cameras. I hate that practice. I've already explained my hatred of it when I switched from the Oppo A9 to the Xiaomi 11T Pro, and I don't hate it any less just because it's on a bar phone. And that's it. As you can see, it boots up. Okay. Here's gonna be a funny one. Guess the pin. That's right. This phone was kept safe by 0000. Do not use this as your pin, folks. Although I suppose in this case that was a good thing, because this is still, it's a newer phone, but it's running old software, and this software definitely would not have allowed for any factory resetting if it hadn't been for this random pin. Next, we have the smartphones. This was a sad one. This is an iPhone 5C. As you can see, I actually cleaned it up quite a bit, so it looks pretty nice on the back. But yeah, it does not work at all. That's about what I would have expected, to be honest. Next, I absolutely astounded at this phone. So this is an Asus Zenfone Go, and you already saw the fact that it's incredibly cracked on the front, and now you get to see that it's also incredibly cracked on the back. And also, the battery is weird. It doesn't have any load on it, but it doesn't work well. It doesn't charge. So the way that I got this thing to actually work is by holding this battery for dear life and then pressing this phone against its own back so it would have a power button that I can press. Okay, hold up. And that's how I got this thing to work. Yes, that is the actual display. It actually works somehow. The main problem is that it doesn't seem to boot beyond the Asus logo. It might just be because of the extremely low battery capacity on the replacement battery that I have right here, and the fact that its original battery is also not good at all. I've put it on the charger for a few hours and it hasn't really done anything, so I'm suspicious that it might be just because of the battery, but there is also a very good chance that the phone just straight up doesn't work. But the thing that surprises me is the fact that the display actually works. Next up, we have another surprising duo. The Galaxy J7 2016 actually works. It has a broken AMOLED. And similarly, this Motorola Nexus 6 also works. It has a broken LCD. So both of these two phones can realistically be repaired, even though they look... Okay, no, this one looks fine on the back. But this one looks dreadful. But they're pretty interesting phones, so I might try to repair both. As for this phone, I will not. It does not show any signs of life, and it's just not a great phone to begin with. It's made by Doogee, and Doogee is not known for making high quality devices. For a reason, they're not high quality. Next is the Oukitel C21, which I had already put it back into its case. And here it is. It's honestly very pretty. And it actually works. The touchscreen is, as I said, a little bit off, but I did eventually manage to get it to work pretty decently. As I was saying, it does still have the quirk of pressing itself whenever it feels like it. So it's definitely not perfect. It's going to be quite an annoying phone to use. But in terms of usability, besides this, it actually is usable. Although you're really gonna have to be able to deal with the fact that this will eventually press into apps like wireless, emergency alerts, and outdoor tool. But as you saw right here, from the fact that I installed a bunch of games on it, this does actually work pretty well. And while that's loading, let's take a look at the Cubot King Kong 3. This is running Android 8.1. It has 64 gigabytes of storage. It seems to be running pretty decently. There's nothing wrong here. As I was saying, quite a bit annoying, but other than that, it's a completely usable phone. So it has that one specific spot that it likes to touch. But other than that, no real problems here. Don't mind me, I'm not the best at this. Alright. And as you saw, I also installed a really cute Dragonite wallpaper on it. And that's it, that's all I really have to say about the phone. Oh, this one is on Android 10, it has 64 gigabytes of storage, and besides that one touchscreen spot, it works pretty well. But that one touchscreen spot will be really annoying. Especially because of this godforsaken wireless emergency alerts app. Okay. Next up we have a Redmi A3. This one does not work at all. It's not particularly surprising, as despite the fancy look, it's actually a very low-end phone. And I also, as a result, have to warn people, AI camera means nothing. These dual cameras don't mean anything. Only one of these is actually a real camera anyway. And anyone can make a glossy back. It doesn't mean the phone is high quality. Finally, we have the iHunt Titan P8000 Power 2021. It is a very long name, and whenever you see a phone with a long name like this, you just know that it is trying to prove to you really hard that it is good at something. This phone is not. It is okay. The thing about even garbage, very low-end phones nowadays is that they will at least work. They won't be completely useless bricks, and this isn't that. It is running Android 10, it has 32 gigabytes of storage. It's like, okay, it's not awful to use, but there's also just so much better that it feels straight up misleading. Also, for such a Romanian brand, why do both the iHunt and the Oukitel have the exact same UI? Hold up. You see? It's the same. The only difference is the background. But like, this is so shameless. So I just wanted everyone to be warned. While both of these phones do work, this one's not great. However, it is without cracks and it works perfectly, so I'd say it's still a good deal for what I paid for it. Paying $42 for this is not a bad deal. Let me be very clear about that. I just don't think it's worth the actual price, which is much higher, is somewhere around $150 to $200. You can get much better phones for that. But, oh wait, there's more. We have 3 tablets here. We have the Enjoy Cali 8, which actually works perfectly well, and I even drew something on it because it's new enough that I can install new apps on it. Here's my little sketch. I drew it this morning. Alright, this works perfectly fine. Android 5, 4 gigs of storage. It's about the best use that you can have for it. Like, as a sketch, but it actually works decently well. The touchscreen is very rough, but it works. It doesn't have random ghosting. It's a really harsh surface. Meanwhile, this older tablet is a lot nicer, a lot smoother feeling, but the problem with it is that it is so incredibly old that it doesn't actually work. It works right now. It has Android 4.4.2, and that's not lying. But the problem is that this is such an old, antiquated version of that it doesn't actually run anything. It's just kind of there as yet another really old piece of tech. Another thing that's really weird is that they have both the home button here and a home button here. Which tells me, especially because of the design on the back, that this was trying to be a copy of an iPad. And I'm sure that at the time it wasn't a bad alternative, but nowadays, I would definitely not pick this. And finally, the Veneno tablet, the Veneno Magnet 350. This, unfortunately, does not work. Although I did kind of expect it, it is a little bit sad anyway. Because it is the largest tablet of the 3 and it also seems like it's the newest. So it is a bit of a shame. However, I'll boot up everything that I know for sure is working, so we can take a good look at what I actually got. Alright. These are the ones that boot immediately. There are a bunch of them that boot that don't have a battery in, and then there are these 2 that are really oddball cases. All of this being $42, I would say actually was worth it. And that is because we got a lot of cool newer phones. You know, Android 10 on these 2. And then Android 8 on this one. It's not bad at all. They're all in perfectly working condition. And we also got 2 tablets. One of them even being finally, I actually have a functional sketchbook tablet. So that's good. Honestly, I would have paid $42 for that alone, but yeah. Overall, this lot was actually a very big success, despite how it may look at first. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.